Welcome to Access Let's Talk Accommodations, Testing Accommodations, presented by Melissa Madison and Edward Palmer, your Access 9-Line Vets counselors. Also brought to you by current Access students.
The anxiety feels like, to me, overwhelmed. I get panic attacks, feel nervous, and I just lose concentration. So I want to rush through. So I want to rush through the quiz because I feel like I'm timed. So I feel like I don't have that much time to do anything. So when it's timed, I feel more anxiety.
Access follows the 1973 Rehabilitation Act, which protects any student who has a physical or mental impairment, which substantially limits one or more major life activities. We follow Section 504, which gives people the right to reasonable accommodations that do not fundamentally alter an activity. At Barstow Community College, these are classroom accommodations where students get their academic accommodation plan, and this is the responsibility of the Access Department. We also follow Section 508 that mandates that all electronic and information technology be accessible to people with disabilities. At Barstow Community College, this is our website, our online classes, Canvas, closed captioning, and this is a district-wide responsibility.
The timer of the reminders, like your test is going to be sent in 30 minutes, that triggers me in a different aspect that I never really realized until red alerts flashing on my computer. Your exam will be submitted, your quiz will be submitted. And then I look at what number I'm on and I'm just like, oh, I need to hurry up. When in reality, I can still take my time.
We also follow Title V, which states that all colleges are to offer academic adjustments and auxiliary aids and services which are not fundamental alterations to approved course outline and curriculum. Title V also requires timely access to academic adjustments and auxiliary aids and services that are critical in enabling students with disabilities to benefit from equal access to the college offerings. Once students become part of the Access program, they receive their academic accommodation plan. Their academic accommodation plan goes to you, the instructor, and it's the instructor's responsibility to adjust the test time. Title V lists academic adjustments to include priority registration, note taker, interpreter, assistive technology, testing services, mobility services, alternative format, and other accommodations.
Well, for me, I do need the extended test time because it gives me a lot of more thinking and just more focus with that more test time.
Access also follows the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, also known as FERPA. FERPA states that student records include any and all records in any medium maintained by the college which are directly related to the student. Title V, Section 56008, discusses FERPA in relation to Access students that it's not advisable to disclose the nature and origin of the student's disability to the instructor or other college staff unless the student poses an imminent danger to self or others. For this reason, Access keeps Access students' disability or disability categories confidential.
It's like trying to catch a breath and then someone telling you you have a timer. So just like my fingers flashing, it's pretty much what my anxieties are.
Access also follows the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Americans with Disabilities Act, also known as ADA, ensures that individuals with disabilities have the opportunity to fairly compete for and pursue such opportunities by requiring testing entities to offer exams in a manner accessible to persons with disabilities. ADA testing accommodations include Braille or large print, screen reading technology, scribes, extended test time, wheelchair accessible testing stations, distraction-free rooms, physical prompts such as for individuals with hearing impairments, and permission to bring and take medications during the exam. Barstow Community College Academic Accommodation Plan also offers these same testing accommodations to our students.
Have you ever been denied testing accommodations?
From other instructors, yes.
Okay. And how does that make you feel?
Frustrated.
Frustrated?
Because it feels like they're not willing to help.
Uh-huh.
And it feels like they compare me with other students that has a disability too.
Okay.
And that makes me uncomfortable.
Testing accommodations are a legal requirement. Testing accommodations are listed in Title V, the 1973 Rehabilitation Act, and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Accommodations are assigned to a student based on their individual disability or disabilities, as listed on their student academic accommodation plan. On the screen is a copy of our academic accommodation plan. This is what a student would submit to their instructor to notify their instructor of their reasonable accommodations. Instructors are required to accommodate students by law.
Well, let me put it like this. In the beginning, I was embarrassed to even have any. So to be denied made me feel that I needed to be like everybody else.
Next for test time, the student will forward an email from Access showing their academic accommodations plan with a list of required accommodations, including their extended test time. The email will also have an attachment of how the instructor can extend the student's test time. The instructor can also contact the Instructional Technology Center or contact your instructional design specialist.
Realistically, I've had so many teachers, even one at Barstow, tell me that I should be able to complete 7 questions in the time given. And that's not the case. I can't do that. I wish I could do that. It would make my life so easy, but I can't. So
Disagree with the accommodation? If you have questions or disagree with any accommodations, Access has a grievance procedure. Students and faculty can appeal an accommodation if they feel the accommodation is not deemed reasonable, or if they feel it is a fundamental alteration of their course.
Ask the teacher, which is an instructor, I should say, if she could make a different accommodation in setting the quiz choices. So multiple choices. So she said that she could let me do an essay instead of doing multiple choices.
The accommodation appeal process. The accommodation appeal form can be found in the Access Canvas shell or through the Access office. This is what the form looks like, just a slight view for you to see. Accommodation appeal process. The accommodation appeal form will be submitted to the Director of Special Programs and Services, who will then meet with the Vice President of Student Services, and together will make appropriate recommendations within 10 working days of receiving the concerns. Please note, during the appeal process, current accommodations as determined by the counselor and listed on the student's academic accommodation plan will continue.
ACCOMMODATION has really helped me throughout the years that I have been around. With me graduating this year, it really helped me with me focusing and basically just stepping up my game through ACCOMMODATION.
I know your time is valuable, and I'd like to thank you for spending your time with us learning about testing accommodations. If you have follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to Access. You can reach us by email at access@barstow.edu or by phone 760-252-2411, extension 7225. Thank you and have a great day.